The most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. Warren Buffett. If you're like me and you have a fairly sound temperament, but you aren't a genius, then you'll probably quite like the sentiment of that quote from Warren Buffett, who is arguably the best investor of all time. But what does Warren mean by this? Well, over the long term, market fluctuations are normal, so being disciplined and having a patient disposition leads to better outcomes. Whereas if you're temperamental and your mood swings with the market fluctuations, then you're likely to make bad decisions because you're letting your emotions dictate your behaviour, rather than letting your logic take charge. So, what changes can we apply to our lives to become a better, well-tempered investor? Number 1, think long term. As previously mentioned, markets often swing, sometimes in your favour, but sometimes not. One way to make your life less stressful amongst the fluctuations is to make long-term financial decisions. For example, rather than day trading, where you're pretty much making short-term bets that certain stock prices will rise or fall and you move your money about constantly, think longer term by investing in something like an index fund, such as the S&P 500. For those that aren't aware, the S&P 500 is a stock market index which tracks the top 500 companies in the US, and over long time spans, it returns an average of around 10% on your investment. And this is pretty decent when you look at how your money would compound over time as you earn interest on all the interest that you previously made. In essence, it's exponential growth, which is very lucrative for anyone looking to make lots of money. And the great thing about it is that it's passive. You don't have to actively manage the fund. You aren't buying and selling stocks left, right and centre. You simply put money into the S&P 500 and leave it there. And the longer you leave it there, the higher the chance is that you'll make money. For me personally, I put a fixed amount of my savings into the S&P 500 every month using a platform called Vanguard, which is one of the largest investment platforms in the world. But of course, like for any financial content that you watch on YouTube, do your own research and work out which strategy is right for you. Number 2, limit how much you watch the market. And I'll admit that this is something that I struggle with sometimes. I personally make long-term financial investments, so there's no point in me checking how the market is doing every day because it won't actually affect what I decide to do. Even if the market starts dropping, I'm not going to withdraw my investment because I've decided upfront that I'm going to keep my money in the investment for X number of years. And even if the market starts shooting up, I'm not going to buy more stocks for the same reason. Otherwise, I'm a day trader, and day trading to me looks like it's a higher risk strategy which requires a lot of time, a lot of energy, and pretty much guarantees a more stressful life. So let's look at me as an example. I put a fixed amount of money into the S&P 500 index fund each month because it's a pretty safe long-term strategy. And since the time horizon for my investment is a handful of years minimum, there's no point in me checking what the market is doing each morning when I wake up. That would simply be a waste of my time and a waste of my energy. So I'm better off investing the money each month and forgetting about it. Number 3, emotional discipline. You don't need to be a rocket scientist, says Warren Buffett. Investing is not a game where the guy with the 160 IQ beats the guy with 130 IQ. This supports the original quote from Warren, which we looked at the start of this video, which expressed that temperament is more important than intellect when it comes to investing, and to be well-tempered, you need to have emotional discipline. When the market starts collapsing, it's hard to be stoic and to not have a huge emotional reaction, but as Stoicism teaches us, it's better to respond than to react. So, build the emotional discipline needed to be able to handle market crashes without succumbing to knee-jerk reactions. And finally, to make your life easier, when making financial decisions, it's handy to prepare for the worst whilst hoping for the best. That way, market fluctuations can't wipe you out and you can continue having fun as a long-term investor. And that's all from me, guys. I hope you found the video helpful. If you'd like to support the channel, then please smash the like button and hit subscribe. And drop me a comment below. Let me know what investment strategy you are currently adopting. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.